Chicago was and is first in many industries, yet it is second in more industries than any other city in the U.S., thus the nickname Second City. This diversity in business made Chicago resilient during economic downturns. Included in this diverse business community were nearly 100 distinct homegrown auto companies. Some of these companies lasted only a year or two. Some started as auto manufacturers and then produced trucks. Others began as truck manufacturers, moved into auto production, and then returned to making trucks. Among the interesting Chicago car manufacturing stories is that of the Ambassador, 1922 to 1926, built by the Yellow Cab Manufacturing Company. Their smaller Model D1 was built for the drive-yourself market. In 1926, it became known as the Hertz, 1924 to 1928. The Hertz resembled the Buick of the day. From 1929 on, Hertz Rent-A-Car used other brands of cars, as they do today. Not all Chicago-built cars were internal combustion powered. American Electric, 1899 to 1902, made battery-powered cars, and American Steamer, 1922 to 1924, built steam cars. The longest-lasting Chicago manufacturer of autos, also a manufacturer of trucks, exists today under a new name. International Harvester Company, or IHC, began in 1907 building high wheeler surreys. As late as the early 1970s, International was still building Travelalls, a large SUV-type car similar to the Chevy Suburban. Chicago was the mail order capital of the country, and the two biggest mail order companies, Sears and Montgomery Ward, each built their own cars. Sears built theirs from 1906 to 1911, but in the early 1950s got back into the auto business with Allstate, a slightly disguised Kaiser. The most famous of Chicago-built cars was the Tucker, 1946 to 1948. Preston Tucker's car was very advanced for the era, with disc brakes, padded dash, front passenger crash compartment, and pop-out windscreen. Most Chicago cars were built in the first 2 decades of the 20th century, yet the 50s and 60s saw several small entrepreneurial auto manufacturing operators, such as the Gaylord and the Muntz Jet. Today, the Taurus, from Michigan-based Ford Motor Company, is built in Chicago, and many parts manufacturers are still located in the city, yet there are no longer any Chicago-based auto builders. See more on the history of automotive manufacturing at our IMTS booth W1900. And don't forget to pick up a Cutting Tool Engineering and MICROmanufacturing lanyard at the doors of each hall of IMTS.